Hi everyone, it's Cindy. Welcome to my channel. I'm in the studio again today, as I have been all week long, but I just had a live sale on my other channel on Sunday, and it usually takes me most of the week to get all of that packaged, invoiced, and shipped out. So I really didn't get a chance to create until yesterday afternoon. Sometimes the inspiration is the hardest part of getting started, and I probably mentioned this before, that it's best when I have very limited supplies to use, because I find that I'm able to create more effectively because my mind is not reeling through all the different things I have to choose from. Well, yesterday I was having a hard time getting started, so I decided to just pull a couple of things that might inspire me, and what I came across were these beautiful German scrap pieces that were sent to me last year by a subscriber and friend of my other channel, Mimi's Treasure Cottage. Her name is Maria, and she's from Sweden, and she has a channel on YouTube called Maria Ladybug if you want to check her out. But she sent me this beautiful German scrap. They provided me a really good jumping off point for my creativity. And so even though I brought in a whole bunch of things from home with the idea that I might actually do a Christmas assemblage piece, I didn't go that direction. This is the week before Christmas, actually 1 week to be exact before Christmas. This probably won't air until next week, but these things actually took me in a whole different direction. So sometimes I just have to go with where my muse is taking me. Otherwise I would just sit here and stare at things. So, you know, I've just kind of learned to roll with that. Anyhow, this is what I finished yesterday. So they're more Valentine related, not Christmas related. And these are actually little collage pieces. I'll cut off the ends here. I am debating as to whether or not I'm going to mount these and make them into wall hangings, or if I'm going to, well, I don't know, maybe I'll mount them this way too, but just to package them and sell them that way. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. But I am going to walk you through the process of making one of these. A similar process to the last collage items that I showed you as well, because I'm also starting with the eco dyed papers here, which are so beautiful in and of themselves. That was something I did with my art group a couple of years ago. We did all the eco dyeing, and I absolutely love that process. Anyways, I am going to take you on to my table and let you see what I'm doing. So as you can see, I have a wide variety of things on my table that I'm pulled out to work with. Don't know if I'll use them all or not. I love using vintage linens and things in my work, so I have those as well. Using the paper doilies reminds me of my mom, as I have in, I think I was showing you in another segment. So I have these pieces here of the eco-dyed paper, and I have the images that I'm going to use here. So without delay, I'm going to go ahead and get started, you know, just adding some fun stuff to this background. Pull out all my background pieces. I feel like my table is too small. I try to keep some things on my table, and then I pull stuff out to do my work, and then I just feel like I just have not enough space. So I pulled out a couple different stencils and things to work with today. I love using makeup sponges to put on ink. I am using Distress ink today, Tim Holtz. This is really bright, though. I have to mute that quite a lot. I'm using Vintage Photo. Yeah. And then I'm using the archival VersaFine ink. Where's my other ink pad? Is that it? Oh, I guess I wasn't using the black today like I thought. Okay, So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with, I usually like to start with some of the bigger elements first. So like with the other ones that I had done, I'm going to start by putting on here, I'm going to use the VersaFine, and I am going to use it with this. Just putting some, and I'm putting it on very lightly over this, if you can see right there. I really love the shape of this, this botanical piece that came from that eco dyeing, so I wanted to keep that on there. So I'm just going to kind of try to make the edges crisp, but I'm going to leave the center of that intact because I like that a lot. So we have that. I think I'll probably extend those over here, maybe up here. Well, let's do it like this. I like to work in threes or odd numbers. Oops. There we go. My eyes kind of want something. Well, we'll wait. We'll wait and see how we do. Let's pull this in here. I like the muted aspect of using a somewhat drier ink pad, so I am not going in and replenishing the ink. And like with the first two that I did, I want these to kind of be standalone but also part of a set. So like you saw in these two, they're very similar. They're actually kind of almost mirror image. So I am going to put some text on here at some point. I think this one's going to say loves me and this one's going to say loves me not. So they could be standalone. Somebody could have just this one. Somebody could have them both together. So that's how I'm going to do that. But I want them to work together as a set. So let's see, I put that on there. We're going to come back in with the vintage photo, which is a little darker. I'll put some dots on there. And I have, oh, there it is. I have a piece that's totally messed up, but I like it. I need to buy some more makeup sponges. They're the perfect tools for getting, oh, I like that, getting the ink onto the page. And this one has this beautiful botanical image here from the eco dyeing right there in that section. So I'm happy that these this process does not obscure that. We're just kind of accentuating that. And what I have been doing, I was just thinking about this, I have been going in, and when I finish with one of these backgrounds, I've been scanning it so that in the future I can make prints of it and use it in other artwork. That's something that I sometimes forget to do, but I've been trying to do more often because I think it's very important to save my own unique artwork for other items. I really like this stencil. I don't know who made this stencil, but it's kind of nonsense words, if you will. Like they don't actually say anything. I have some really gorgeous collage paper that Tarnished Treasures here on YouTube sent me. It's in a foreign language. It's absolutely beautiful. The script handwriting is gorgeous. but I'm almost afraid to use it in some things because I don't know what it says. And one time, a number of years ago, I made a project using Asian script. And I guess I used it upside down, and what it said was kind of unusual too. And so there was a person who spoke, I think it was actual Chinese text that spoke Chinese, and contacted me to tell me what it meant and told me that it was upside down. So, you know, you run into that dilemma if you're going to use foreign language text. So on this one, because this is very important to me, I am going to use my guy on this side of it. And I don't want to put him straight in the center. We always want to, it's for artistic purposes and for, I don't know, there's probably an artistic rule for it on how to, you know, well, I know there's a rule of thirds, so perhaps that's what I'm looking at here, going this way as opposed to going this way. You don't want everything right in the middle of your paper. You want to give some interest to it. And I like how my other set had them like that, you know, kind of backed up to the side. So I'm going to do that here. And if you notice what I did over here, I took my script and I added a lot of script at the bottom. It almost grounds it. One of the things that when I was teaching the drawing to my children, the franchise that I worked for, they always made sure that we put ground underneath our people and items so that they weren't just floating into space. And that's always kind of stuck with me, that your people and your focal point need to be grounded. It needs to look like they're not floating around. So if I put a lot of this extra text down here, it kind of looks like it's, you know, ground, like I was saying. Yeah, I like that. I always like to come back in and look and see how it's, now see, oh yeah, I had him over here and then I had her to the side. I don't want her to be right in the middle, but her basket really pushes her over. But I really like this element, so it's important to me that I keep that element over there. All right, so because I'm doing this for Valentine's, I thought it would be fun to come in with the pink. And where's my little pink? Here, I'm going to use this. Now, as I mentioned before, this is extremely bright. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just kind of wiping it off on a scrap paper to the side before I come in. And I'm going to come in with these little hearts. And I'm kind of, if you noticed, I kind of put my collage element on here to see where it is in relation to everything else, but I'm really not putting that much effort into placement. And I want a dark one there. I'm going to put one up here. My first one was a little bit darker than I wanted, but I'm okay with that. We're going to use that to our advantage. But I am going to put like a darker one maybe right here. Oh yeah, that's nice. Okay, let's put her here. That's fun. Kind of like that. I might put another big one down here. I'm just very lightly touching this because I still have an awful lot of ink on that sponge. I wanted the top of the heart to be evident. Let's put another one down here just to round it out. Okay, that's kind of nice. Now the interesting thing is if I scan this as a background. And I'm probably going to scan this one because I like this element. All right, so yeah, I think I want to scan this one. So I am going to not put anything else on this one because I like it like that. I don't want it to have to be a Valentine's Day piece, but I am going to put a little pink over here. Yeah. Yeah, that's fun. Okay, so I'm going to take a second and I'm going to go and I'm going to scan this and I'll be back. Okay, so that took me a little bit longer than I expected. I had my first delivery here at the studio, so that was kind of fun. It was just some boxes that I had ordered from Uline for the reselling business. So I went ahead and I scanned that. So I have that all ready to go. And I'm going to go ahead and put some pink dots on, not pink dots, pink hearts on this piece. Just random, so they match the other one, you know, because we want them to be a pair. I'm going to change the direction of my, yeah, you can see it. Okay. Oh, shucks. I forgot my own advice. I got a nice dark pink guy going on there. I forgot to rub it off. Let's make a nice dark pink one there too. Balance it out a little bit. All right, now we're going to put in some lighter ones. Let's put in a little light one there. I'll put a little light one up here, going off the page. Oh, I got a bonus one there. I didn't mean to have. Let's turn him into something good. Let's put him that way. So it's another thing that I always taught my kids. When you make a mistake, you have a couple of things that you can do with that mistake that don't involve getting all bent out of shape that you made a mistake. One, you can try to correct it if it's that important to you. Otherwise, I always say you pretend that you meant to do that. Nobody knows I didn't mean to put that heart there. Not. I mean, you guys know, but you know what I'm saying? Not one person knows. And hey, look at this. When I put him over there, you're not even going to see that heart anyway. So, yeah, I like that. I might put one over here, though, behind his head. You know, you have to learn in life to roll with the punches and just to not get bent out of shape about things that don't go your way. And it's the same in art as it is in life. You make the best out of what you can, and you just can't dwell on what wasn't. And sometimes if I make a big enough mess out of something and I just really can't stand it, I'll put it aside for a while and then I'll come back to it later. And chances are that my mind, after having a rest, will see something new in that item. And if I still don't, then I put it aside and I wait even longer. So this is where we're at right now. I love this fabric and I love the idea of using this fabric in this piece. I'm not sure how it's going to work on him because I have him. Oh yeah, we're going to move him over there. Okay, we can do him. Sometimes I forget my own layout. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to rip some strips of this off, and I'm going to do that by starting with a, I'm going to start with a little cut because it makes it easier to tear. And then what I'm going to do is I am going to use a needle and thread to do a running stitch that I'm going to then pull. Hopefully that's wide enough. It changed sizes a little bit as it went down. We'll do this one. If I can find the cut. There it is. It was hiding from me. got a lot of extra threads. We're going to keep those for now because you never know if I might need them. I might use them for something. It's always a possibility. But I'm going to go ahead and pause this so I don't have to edit as much out. And I'm going to get my needle and thread and I'm going to do my little running stitch. I'll be right back. All right, so I have my running stitch completed. I did it all the way to the end. And what I'm going to just do now is pull. And I will gather this up. Okay, so I'm going to put these aside. I'm going to work on my little girl first. So I think I want this over here on this side somewhere. And under normal circumstances, I would probably pull out my my sewing machine, and I do have it here at the studio. It's just, to be quite honest with you, I'm a little bit lazy. So I feel like I'm going to probably, once I get this where I want it, I am going to use my heavy gel matte medium to adhere it. This reminds me, some of you are probably already thinking it, reminds me of that ribbon candy. You guys remember that? I haven't had that or seen that in a very long time, but I remember it used to be a staple at Christmas time. My mom used to get it all the time. So I don't want it curling, and when I go to adhere it, I can make sure that it's pretty straight. All right, I'm going to tie that off, and I'm not going to do anything with it yet because I'm really not sure about the rest of the design and how it's going to go. Let's put that over there. Okay, so I did my sewing. I've got both of my little pieces done here. So now I'm going to kind of see what I can arrange collage-wise and see if I like, you know, what I like. So I was thinking that I would like to use the pink on this somehow. So I was thinking of possibly putting that there and putting that on there like that. Of course, I'm going to put it in more than one space, you know me. And then maybe putting this up here in this corner with this over top. I don't have to use this whole piece, even though, you know, I made it, because remember, I don't really want to cover up this spot here because I like that. So you put that up there. Then I might want to bring in, I'm going to use this different piece here, but we can see how this is going to work. So I got pink there. I might put a little bit of that there. You know, just move this around in different places till I get, I always, like I said, I like the threes. So we'll see how that works with that. Put this down here perhaps. So that is where I'm at right now with what I'm doing. Move this guy aside, work on her. I'm going to use my matte medium to adhere this to this piece. And I've been using this piece of packaging to keep my fingers dry as I'm putting on these elements here like that. See how easy that was? That was so much easier than trying to do it otherwise. And then I'm going to cut off a little extra there. Eventually I'm going to tear that off, I think. We'll see. put her back on here. And remember, we're going to put this here somehow. And maybe put a little piece of this. So I have an Android phone, and the Android has this thing on it called Bixby that I absolutely abhor. And there's a button on the side of my phone that I had disabled once. I don't know why it's not disabled now, but at any rate, I was sitting here working on this, and unbeknownst to me, Bixby shut off my camera and decided to ask me a question. So you guys didn't see a lot of this. I started working on the boy, and I'm doing similar. I don't want to keep them. I don't want them to be matchy-matchy, but I want them to be similar enough that people could use them in a grouping and buy both of them if they wanted to. So I've adhered these, and then I realized I want another pop of the red color down at the bottom, but I don't have enough of this edge here to really do what I want to do down at the bottom. And I took a couple minutes to look for, I have a whole package of those red doilies and I cannot find them. I mean, they're hiding in plain sight, I'm sure, but I can't find them right now. So I'm going to come in and I'm going to add this down at the bottom. I don't think it'll be that much of a difference. You know, we got red in both places, so I think we'll be good. So I'm going to add that. First of all, I'm going to trim this off so it doesn't get in my way. I'm going to add this down here. Got my gel medium on there. We're going to put it down here. And as I've said before, you know what? Nobody knows that I didn't intend to do that. Oh, yeah. Life is funny. Okay. So we are going to put here. No, actually, I decided I wanted to do this up here, didn't I? Yeah. I'm going to do that up there because I don't want to cover up this element. Let me cut this off the bottom. We're going to clean the adhesive off of my space here real quick. Okay, so I have this back, and like I did on the last one, I am going to simply tack down one edge, and then I'm going to work this in the way I want it to be. Maybe I'll start on this edge, because that's nice. I'm coming back in with this heavy gel matte medium. I'm just, I think I like that right across. Let me put him back. Just right across the top there. I'm going to just tack it down right here for now. Hello. All right, so it is the next day, and my landlord and his wife showed up to do some work here at my studio, and so I had to stop. But I continued working, so I'm going to show you the finished product. All right. So you saw these guys yesterday. I did trim off the blue rickrack, but that's the finished product, the finished piece. I will mount those on board. I just decided that the perceived value of an item that's mounted is a little bit higher than the perceived value of just the card. So I'm going to do that. Then this is the girl. So I tacked that down on her. You didn't see that. I added the words. And then I added a little button here. So she's finished. I like how she came out. And then this is the boy. And did the same thing. You saw me in the last part tacking this down. I added the button and I added the words here. And you can still see this beautiful botanical element that I was trying to preserve on the card. So I'm real happy about that. So those are the finished pieces. Thank you all for joining me, and if you're new to my channel, I like mixed media art, so you'll see a lot of different things here on my channel, everything from painting to collage to sewing, fabric arts, all those sorts of things. So I would love it if you would consider subscribing and hit the bell so that you know when I post a new video or maybe even go live. Do check out my other channel as well, Mimi's Treasure Cottage, if you're interested in vintage things and decor. I do post things over there, my hauls from various estate sales, flea markets, rummage sales, those sorts of things. I also do live sales of vintage items on my other channel, the second and fourth Sunday of the month, so you can check that out. But again, thank you for joining me, and Merry Christmas, everybody. This will air before Christmas. So I hope everybody has a wonderful and joyous Christmas. I should have another video out before Christmas after this one, or maybe even on Christmas. But this will be the last process video before Christmas. So I hope you enjoy, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.